Kurdish Peshmerga fighters, alert, watching. Their enemy is close. A commander points out a factory complex only a short distance away. He says ISIS is there. We hear small rounds fly overhead, and Kurdish fighters respond. The exchange is no threat to this fortified position. What the fighters do fear is the darkness of night, fog, mortar rounds, and armoured vehicles converted into massive suicide bombs. They say ISIS makes use of them all. We travel north with Peshmerga, past the ruins of abandoned villages ISIS once controlled, and climb to the top of Mount Zartak. ISIS also held this position and its commanding view across a wide plain. The fighters point out the towns and villages, factories and roads, all still occupied by ISIS. And in the hazy distance, its greatest prize so far, the city of Mosul. Overhead, that circling aircraft is a constant presence. We hear regular thundering explosions from the direction of Mosul.
It's an airstrike in the distance. They seem to be hitting every few minutes. Is that normal?
He says aircraft have been hitting the area around Mosul very hard for several days. Trenches and defences stretch across the countryside. Kurdish officials call it Phase 1 of the campaign, containing ISIS, stopping its fighters advancing again. Phase 2 will be very difficult, retaking Mosul.
These Peshmerga fighters say they are willing to join any effort to free Mosul from ISIS. But the time frame for that sort of operation really isn't up to them. It comes down to the Iraqi government in Baghdad and its efforts to rebuild, retrain the Iraqi army, the same military force that ran away and abandoned Mosul when ISIS first came charging through this region.
The Peshmerga don't want to take Mosul alone because it's an Arab city and because the Iraqi army has better weapons. As proof, they show us this historic artillery piece.
England.
It's from England?
Yes.
How old?
1941.
It was made in 1941?
Yes.
That's very old.
Made in 1941 in England.
Not surprisingly, ammunition for this relic is hard to source. They have just 20 precious rounds left. From this vantage point, it's easy to see the progress these fighters have made in the battle against ISIS, but also the great challenges still looming on the horizon. Phil Black, CNN, on Mount Zartak in northern Iraq.